Huh? What's this? A walkie-talkie? Hello? Is anyone in there?
Excellent. Excuse me, is this Mad Hatter Patrick, the tall drama guy?
That depends. Who are you and what do you want from him?
I am the one that delivered the walkie-talkie, but I'm sorry, I can't reveal my name just yet.
Well, he's not here.
No, wait. I have a proposition.
Look, if it's about reviewing the reboot version, he can't do that right now because Max refused to bring out a single update on when it's going to be available in his region.
It's not that. It's Disventure Camp.
How did you know that name?
I know it all too well, as long as I can remember, even before that name existed. And seeing how you're a fan of total drama and other reality shows, both real and animated. What if I told you there was another online series that lit the torch for anime reality comps a bit longer?
I don't know. Should he, even with all of its familiarity?
Well, a bunch of people have already talked about it, like reviews, reactions, and stuff. And this particular series have been growing continuously.
What's the catch?
Nothing. I just want Mad Hatter Patrick to do his review as planned. My only interest is to know where Disventure Camp stands, starting with the beginning. If you know what I mean.
I can't believe I'm going to do this. Okay, I accept your request.
Oh, thank you so much, and enjoy the show.
Before the Total Drama reboot brought back the glory of anime satirical reality shows, there was another anime show on YouTube that tried to be its own thing, and best of all, it became available to watch worldwide for everyone. The series originally started off as a fully animated Total Drama fan-made season formerly titled Total Drama Adventure. However, due to copyright, the videos unfortunately had to be taken down. But while those Adventure videos may be down, the people who worked on them were not out. In 2022, a second season of Adventure was produced on the official YouTube channel Odd Nation Cartoons with a new title called Disventure Camp, with no tie-in to the Total Drama series such as characters, title, and stuff. Well, sorta, but we'll get to that later. While the first season came back online but under a new name, Adventure Camp, to resolve the copyright issues, this is not the season I will be discussing for this video. That was just the beta version. For this review, I will be looking over the final cut version of Adventure Camp Season 1 back in 2023. Yeah, after they completed Season 2 of the series, Odd Nation Cartoons decided to reboot the first season to not only upgrade the animation from the beta version, but also add in new hosts, additional contestants, new storylines, and different elimination order and ceremonies. I know I mentioned in some of my Object Show reviews that fan-made videos don't factor into my reviews, but Adventure Camp seems to be one of those online anime shows that somehow manages to mold itself into its own original show. While it's heavily inspired by Total Drama and Survivor, it still finds its identity as a survival reality series. And as a side note, I know the second season was the channel's early beginning before the remastered version, but I like to review the season numbers in order, starting with the official first. Welcome to another episode of The One Reviews. Pack your bags because we're going to explore a brand new campsite. This is my review of the first season of Disventure Camp! As previously mentioned, the series is a reality show where 14 contestants must survive in the wilderness and compete against each other to win $1 million. While that's going on, there's a side plot going on behind the scenes that there's some sort of dirty secret involving the host and their right-hand man named Jensen that they're trying to cover up something. It's no Total Drama, but it certainly is close. While there are some similarities to the anime reality show, there are some notable differences to make itself stand out from the rest. In the Total Drama series, the cast consists of teenagers where they're given a marshmallow or other symbol of safety in each ceremony. In Disventure Camp, however, the contestants vary by different age groups, and you can see it more on Miriam and Fiore. Second, the show does contain a bunch of adult stuff like swearing that feels like it had a PG-13 rating. Third, there are some major references to Survivor, such as writing the person's name down at the elimination ceremony and reading the votes. Other elements include surviving under the stars until the merge, confession to be set out in the wilderness, finding a hidden immunity aisle, and play it before the votes are read. And at the end of each episode, the characters, including the eliminated players, do make some shoutouts to the people on Patreon to thank them for supporting the show. Even some of the challenges do look like a popular survival show, and it translates well into animation. With that said, Disventure Camp does succeed as a reality competition. Another element that helps the show grow larger are the characters, like their interactions, gameplay strategies, as well as their side plots to flesh them out more, like Tom going undercover for a secret mission, Jake dealing with a possible loss for his grandma and starting a new relationship, Miriam trying to warm up to people and know them better, and many more. If I do have some issues with the first season, it would have to be there is so much backstabbing and misunderstanding that occurs in this. I know stuff like that usually happen in reality shows like Survivor or Big Brother, but the double-crossing does get cliché and repetitive quickly at the second act of the show, where it's noticeable that they need to eliminate someone that is not the bad guy so the villains can have more plot armor. Also, the show tried to incorporate an environmental message involving the camp's secrets behind Derek, Trevor, and Jensen, but the build-up ended up pretty underwhelming. Not a bad message, and there were some disturbing moments from it, it's just that it could have been handled better.
Talk about the beta version.
Why? I have no plans to review it if this version is the real deal.
Yes, but it's fun to compare the old and new to show how much the story and animation has evolved.
Well, in the beta version, there was an inventive idea with the characters, like an actual anime Survivor season. There's an interesting development here and there, but with the execution, there was too much betrayal and backstabbing, some of which were left unresolved in the end.
Exactly. Now, what's the writing like in this version?
Well, in the remastered version, there's actually less betrayal than last time. Even some of the backstories were saved earlier in the game, but also learned something new about the characters later. Even the stuff that wasn't resolved in the finale finally got settled in the remake.
Pretty surprising, isn't it?
It is. Even the elimination order is much better than last time, and I was glad that I was wrong about the winner being the same as Beta Camp. These characters definitely had a lot of growth. As the show progresses, the characters that stay in the game become more complex and also reveal who they are. I did watch the English dub version of the season, and the performers did a great job with the voice acting. In the first season of Disventure Camp, they have two hosts, Derek and Trevor. As a duo, they are pretty good, where Derek is cynical and only cares about drama for excitement, while Trevor has a more sympathetic side that prefers not to go to extreme measures. There is also Jensen, the tough bus driver that assists the host with the challenges and other assignments around the camp. However, as intimidating as he is, he actually doesn't appear a lot in the series. I almost forgot this dude was even a character for the show. In fact, he was even trying to keep the cameras away from him during the runtime.
Remember to take cut any scenes, Amen. I did.
Then there are the 14 contestants of Season 1, and most of them play a great game. There are some likable characters that have a fun, ecstatic personality to make them memorable, like Drew is the muted character that communicates through charades and a notebook, Lil is the scout leader that is loyal to the team and her Girl Scouts back home, Ashley is the cowgirl and the most important member of her team, and Gabby is the animal lover that is crazy and often talks to herself like Gollum from Lord of the Rings. But then there are the other characters that have a lot of depth that went into them. There is Tom, a secret agent that is trying to investigate some suspicious activities behind the camp, but he's not the best spy, so he's trying to make up from a past mistake to keep his job afloat and to cover his identity. Next is Jake, the kind but erratic boy who has a crush on Tom, but has some relationship issues due to a bad breakup from his past ex. They do have a decent chemistry, and their Senate is actually well executed, where Jake is trying to learn that if anything happened between him and Tom, they would take one step at a time to resolve it. But then there's Miriam. At first, she seems like the stereotypical grumpy old lady that doesn't want anything to do with anyone. However, in episodes 4 and 5, she ended up becoming a player that everyone underestimated. Not only is she an incredible baker and used to be a pro sportswoman, she has a heartbreaking backstory that explains her bitterness prior to the show. But once she learns about Jake and the loss of his grandma, she decides to open up to him and be a grandma figure to him and Tom. She went from being an uncaring player to being the best character of the series.
I tried to be tough, Jake, but it's really hard.
Of course, not every character is here to make friends. They plan to manipulate everyone to get themselves further into the game. This is especially the case with the three main villains of Season 1, Alec, Gret, and Fiore. With Alec, he is a smart Alec, see what I did there, that sees Fiore as a reliable alliance member since he is actually a dad outside the competition but is going through a possible divorce with his wife. Gret is the manipulator that wants her parents' approval than to be in her brother's shadow, And finally, Fiore, who may seem like a cute little innocent girl that needs help, but she is nothing like that. She practically hates everyone on the show. She swears a lot even for a girl her age, and uses her childlike innocence to her advantage to hide her true, backstabbing, psychotic nature.
That does it! You're really trying to test me, aren't you?
For the rest of the characters, there were a few contestants that aren't really that interesting because they didn't have much to offer. Like Will is the show's version of DJ, where he's big but is a bit of a scary cat. Nick is the rich kid that is pretty stubborn. Ellie is the wild card, where she seems to play every side of the game, which ends up putting her in a mess. And the only thing I can describe Dan is that he looks like me if I was a reality show character.
Hi, Franny, how are ya? Is Mom home?
Wait, do you really think that?
Uh-huh.
You're joking, right?
Nuh-uh.
Are you sure?
Well, let's find out, shall we? Hey, Mr. Editor, can I get a quick makeup, please? Thank you. As an anime series that uses Adobe Anime like the Inspire show, the visuals are surprisingly good. But the backgrounds, the campgrounds are very vibrant with the nature colors like green and yellow, and many of the visuals like the use of fire add some intensity, and the water does feel like the characters did take a big splash. Even the music sounds awesome to listen to, from the elimination ceremony to the kick-butt intro. As for the character designs, they all look great, and their movements are smooth to make them feel more down to earth. And as a fun fact, Lil was modeled after a Survivor contestant named Lillian from Survivor Pearl Island, who was also Scout Leader. However, although they didn't use any total drama characters or its title, you can tell that there are some extra assets that were put into this, like the animals. When it comes to the challenges, they are pretty fun to watch. Okay, it's not going to be extreme like the actual TD series since it is still an online show, but there are some cool contents in each episode like the fear maze and obstacle course in the rain, even surviving a zombie apocalypse. Sometimes there are some challenges that you know what has done before, like a disgusting eating challenge or escaping a dark mine, but then there are some that fully have a survivor flair like the water wheel puzzle challenge or the water dueling stick challenge.
Ow! What's wrong with you?
Despite being an online series on YouTube, it almost feels like a real TV program. It may feel like you're watching an episode of Total Drama, but after watching the entire season, I still think of it as another different survival show set in a different camp, and I liked it. The remastered version of Disventure Camp Season 1 not only succeeds as an anime remake, but a survival season. While there are a few underdeveloped characters and an underwhelming side plot behind the show, it is still an enjoyable reality show with some nice animation, lovable and memorable characters, and great survival challenges and social interactions. Because of the comparisons between Total Drama and Survivor, this is obviously recommended to the fans of both shows. Would I watch it again? Of course I would. I had a fun time with it. The show did find its place as an anime reality series. Oh, and don't worry folks, I will look over the second season once I'm ready, which will be soon. For now, I'm going to give the first season of Disventure Camp a B+. So, what did you think?
I think that was very well done. Thank you for your personal opinion. With this perspective, I'll be ready for the next game.
Well, that's good to hear. Wait a minute, what do you mean next game?
Well, sorry, breaking up.
Hello? Hello? Could it? Nah, that just sounds too fan-fictional. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this, check out these other videos, or feel free to like, comment, and subscribe for more upcoming reviews and other projects. I'll see you soon.